Hello and welcome back to our weekly roundup of the best bargains. These are eShop games that are on sale, worth considering. Each week we give away a $10 eShop voucher to one person who shares their pick of the week in the comments, so be sure to share. And if you do enjoy this video, please do consider subscribing to get this delivered to you each week. We'll be going through last week's winner towards the end of this video, but for now, let's jump in and find out what bargains we have this week. Kicking things off with my pick of the week, and it's pure value. Super Chariot, the platformer puzzler from Microids, has a staggering 90% off. Playing as a princess and her fiance, you need to drag a chariot with the late king's remains through 25 subterranean levels to his final resting place. Along the way, you are taunted by the ungrateful king's ghost, face enemies, gather loot, and take physics-based puzzles on. It's a well-accomplished game that has replayability and plenty of fun moments and secrets to find. It's decent on your own, but it's a real treat in local co-op, either in tabletop mode or on a TV. It's a solid package, and at this lower cost you really cannot go wrong. Jordan, Juan, what are your picks this week?
Hey guys, Jordan here with my pick of the week. This time I'm going for an indie title that I feel needs more support. FutureGrind is a unique game, a trick-based on-rails racer type thing that is sure to have thrill seekers hooked. Our review on the website gave it a nice high score and praised it very highly indeed, only remarking that the price was a little high. And that was reflected in the sales, because the developers recently admitted that the game sold very poorly, and so decided to slash the price so that it can be experienced by many more people rather than being ignored. It's now 85% off, now only £1.34 in the UK and £1.49 in euros and American dollars. That is an easy pickup price. I know tons of games get even more discounts than this, but in terms of quality, this one is going to be one of the best that you'll get. I mean, it may not gel with everyone, not everyone is into the trick score genre kind of thing, but at that price, it's definitely worth a shot and you'll be supporting the developers at the same time. Anyways, that's my pick of the week.
Thank you, James. This week I've chosen a really addictive online game called Killer Queen Black with a massive 50% off for our friends over in the US. This is a proper team strategy game where you have 3 ways to win each battle. There's 6 differing battlefields to choose from as well, and you can win by hopping on a snail, hoard cherries, or wiping out the enemy's queen, which is all easier said than done and makes for some great frantic battles. There are 3 differing roles, each with strengths and weaknesses of course, such as the queen herself, the soldiers and workers. 4-on-4 combat though is where it's at. It's great online with 3 different modes at your disposal, such as unranked, where you can play solo or with friends, and these don't affect your rankings like the online ranked matches do, which is the game's other online mode. And lastly, you have custom matches where you can set up a private game where you can practice versus bots or play with 7 other players. A great game, especially to play online, and as I said, with 50% off, this is now the time to try it. Have a great week everyone, and I'll see you again next week. Take care.
Fantastic picks there, guys. Next up, it's Aperion CYBERSTORM. Forget story, this is all about neon, Tron-inspired mayhem. It's a twin-stick shmup that sticks to a traditional chaotic template. There are things to dodge and shoot all over the place, and it controls very well. I love the way the music flips between melodic chill tracks and suddenly turns into something pumping house tracks in bigger rooms. It's cleverly done and really builds up the tension. The game has 3 modes, Campaign, Versus and Onslaught, and this is another game that really shines when played in local player co-op mode. You can play as a squad of 5, each using a Pro Controller or even just a single Joy-Con, and the more people you throw into the mix, the more visceral the experience. With 65% off, this is a great pick if you're looking for a game to play with friends at the weekend. Picking up Evoland is like taking a history lesson through the evolution of RPGs. It's an interesting concept, and in this legendary edition, you have the first title and second to enjoy. The first starts all the way back at pixelated monochrome top-down Zelda-style gameplay, moving all the way to 3D turn-based JRPG gameplay reminiscent of the Final Fantasy series. It's a bit of an in-joke, poking fun at the genre's history whilst paying homage, but doesn't particularly excel. Part 2 is more accomplished, it has more to offer with its story, and whilst it's quite a vanilla experience, it's an enjoyable one. If you're really interested in how we got to this position in RPGs, then I would suggest you enjoy taking a trip down memory lane with this one. It seems to be the theme this week. Blazing Beaks is a great little game to play with friends. Randomly generated levels, and you can play story mode with a friend in co-op or alone. Either way, it's a blast. If you want to compete against friends, then there is a tournament mode too to test your skills against each other. For us, we loved how simple it was to pick up and play and get into. Blasting foes is super fun and reminded us a little of Enter the Gungeon. It's not quite as good, but on sale, it's definitely worth considering and picking up. Death Squared is a co-op puzzle game that involves working closely together. There are 80 levels in the campaign for you and a friend to enjoy, plus an additional 40 player party levels to experience as well, making this a solid pickup at a whopping 90% off. If you're looking for the type of game where you have to really interact and work closely together, chatting to figure out the best way to succeed, then this is one that you'll likely enjoy. Sword of the Guardian looks like it's come straight out of the 90s. At the time, beat-ups like Streets of Rage, Double Dragon and Golden Axe captured me and millions out there who sat down with a friend and sank hours into these titles. This is exactly what the game is reaching for, that local couch co-op feel. The problem is, at $15 it's hard to justify versus the competition. It's not a bad game, but it doesn't particularly stand out. At $3.99 on the other hand, it's something you can play together on one evening and not regret the purchase at all. Credit to the developer, Billy Chan, who made this by himself, and at this price you might want to check it out. It's the equivalent of a B-movie. Enjoyable, but you know it's not great. Cave Story was originally released back in 2004 to well-deserved rave reviews. Fast forward and it's been highly polished and well ported onto the Switch. It's a highly addictive action-adventure Metroidvania experience with a fabulous retro character to it. It's a must-buy at under £10, and though it's not on sale in the US, don't forget that you can pick up games from any eShop so anyone can take advantage of this great deal. Northgard is a Norse-inspired RTS game that fills an underrepresented genre on the Switch. A lot of real-time strategy games don't port well onto consoles because of the fast-paced nature of them, which can be difficult to map to a controller. Thankfully here, the gameplay is a bit slower, lending itself well to the Switch. The cartoon style is reminiscent of mobile games, which some will like and others won't, but the gameplay is solid, combining action strategy and 4X simulation building like Civilization. It's engaging without being too heavy, making it well balanced for genre pros and those simply curious to try something new. At this price, it's definitely worth considering. The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus is a dungeon crawler and roguelike game in which you control Isaac, who found a labyrinth beneath his own house. Created by none other than Edmund Macmillan, in Afterbirth Plus there are over 13 controllable characters, 600 items and 90 plus bosses with 20 different endings. An epic little twin-stick shooter that oozes character and is a blast to play. Each time it's different, and I've seen so many different areas that I never get bored of this one. It's worth picking up and playing at any point. Code of Princess X is a hack-and-slash side-scrolling game that implements RPG leveling skills and more. It's a clever mix of gameplay elements that was first introduced by Guardian Heroes. This game is directly influenced by it and is certainly aimed at its many fans. This one is a flawed game, but it does have a lot of charm. When compared to the 2012 version, performance has been improved greatly, but it lacks in other areas. It's best played on the move, and fans of Guardian Heroes will likely enjoy this one. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and there is certainly a lot of content. I'd struggle to recommend this one at full price, but at half price, you might want to pick it up. Crystal Crisis is a lovely little action puzzle game featuring a crossover of many niche characters, especially those that publisher Nicalis have worked with over the years. It includes Binding of Isaac, Astro Boy, Cave Story, as well as a few others. It's a colour matching game that gives the illusion of a 1 versus 1 fighter, harking back to a once popular genre. It's chaotic but very fun. It was recently on sale in the US, and now it has 50% off in the EU and UK at its lowest cost to date. First and foremost, this is a one-button platform game. The rest is about timing, that button press to make your sprite jump at the right moment. The controls feel really good and responsive, and any death here is going to be your fault. It sounds like the most simplistic game in the world, and there can't be much to it, but like any good addictive game, it absolutely gets the mechanics and controls bang on and is very addictive. This is a quality game on the Switch that everyone should try, especially at this price. It's easy for these games to get lost amongst all the other titles, but it would be a shame to miss out on the quality and fun for all the family this delivers throughout. One more jump, I'm all the way in. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom is a special title, the spiritual successor of the Wonder Boy series. This Metroidvania platformer is one of the best there is, with excellent controls and wonderful gameplay supported by beautiful graphics and one of the very best soundtracks we've heard on the Nintendo Switch. This is not one to be missed. Everyone can enjoy this regardless of age or skill level. Inversus Deluxe takes a simple idea and forms it really well. It has a simple vision that is realised and executed, leading to quick bursts of enjoyment either alone, online, against others, or my personal favourite, with and against friends. It's a peeled back negative space shooter with a minimalist style and pumping soundtrack. It's one of those unassuming games that can catch you and have you competing for hours with tight controls and no clutter to distract you. The Mystery of Woolley Mountain is a crowd-funded point-and-click adventure that looks a bit like South Park and certainly has a good sense of humour. In terms of gameplay, it plays a little bit like Broken Sword with its item management and sometimes obtuse puzzles. It can be frustrating and is a bit rough around the edges, but come on, this is 12 cents. If you are a fan of the genre, give it a try. There is literally nothing to lose. SENTINEL is a shmup modelled on Uridium and other classic shooters from 30 years ago. It's fast paced with twitchy controls and is unforgiving. There are bullets flying at you from everywhere as you take on giant dreadnought ships and their minions and defences. This one is best enjoyed in handheld mode where you feel zoned in on the action. There are a lot of loving little details, such as being able to change a colour scheme to match, for example, the ZX Spectrum and other platforms. This is a trip down memory lane, but its simple, reaction-based mechanics are timeless, and at under $1, you really can't go wrong on this one. Okay, thanks everyone who made a pick last week. There were some great comments as always. This week's winner is David Perez. Congratulations. Please email us so we can get your $10 eShop voucher to you. Let us know your picks this week and be sure to subscribe if you enjoy this series. We'll see you again next week. Have a great week and thanks for watching everyone. Take care.